And hello everybody, welcome back to Factorio Vanilla Plus Plus, where we have just finished researching Bullet Speed 1, in which we were going to start Bullet Speed 2, which should take just about forever, at least with our current setup. Now, I was just doing a little crafting in my pocket off camera. I made a shotgun, a couple of shells, not really important for this. Went ahead and crafted 10 turrets as well as a set of heavy armor to protect us. And I have currently 216 heavy ammo, or piercing round ammo. And we are going to go take care of the biter nest. And of course, it's becoming dark as soon as I want to go do that. But that shouldn't be too bad. And they're making their first attack as I am. What timing, biters? What timing? Alright. So we're just gonna go creep up their base and destroy it. Although we may not even need to turret creep. I may put down a few for protection. It is a rather decently sized base. And I have a feeling I'm just not gonna have enough ammo to take it out. But we'll see. So taking out the first spawner, and success. Alright, one down. Let's see, the ammo's going down pretty quick here. But that is 2 down. Go ahead and pick up our candy. 3 of them down. Alright, so 4 more bases to go. Yeah, I should have enough. Should have plenty of ammo. Just come in and wreck their home, as I often do. Biter destruction is at hand. Gotta love when it's early in the game and you can literally just run in and shoot their bases and it's perfectly fine. Eventually they're gonna be so damn strong that this would be impossible. But there we go. And this is the copper patch. Not huge, but that is definitely a decent chunk of copper that will last us for a little while. Throw down a victory pole, why not? Go ahead and do a little bit of exploring over here, see what the land is like. Looks like there's some more water down beneath us, as well as maybe a lake up here. This is an interesting channel. And in fact, I can wall and block this off should it ever come to that. It's a rather convenient channel of land. And we're just gonna see about how big this piece of water is. I didn't know there was any water over here. So we gotta learn the layout of our own land. What kind of map do we have here? Ooh, here's another base actually. Ooh, and look at all of those potential circles. I'm going to need to victory pole those. And this is 2 small worms. Go ahead and take it out. I should have plenty of ammo. And I see another one up in the top left. Yeah, this is definitely starting to get into actual base territory. Alright, I'm going to victory pole this area so they cannot expand. Because I am not looking forward to having to protect my base. I want an offensive defense, if that makes sense. I just want to kill their bases and that's all I have to do. I don't want to have to worry about protecting myself from attacks. Although, I am pretty bad about pollution. I don't exactly protect myself from it. I make things way too big and excessive and polluty and then just deal with the consequences most of the time. Which is the exact kind of attacks that I'm wishing I didn't need to protect from, but that's not the point. So, if you didn't understand what victory polling means, it's putting down something that you have to build in these green circles, which are potential expansion chunks, meaning that when the biters expand their base, those are chunks that they could settle down in. And you can show them through the debug menu, but putting down something that you have to build dequalifies those chunks in a 5x5 square. So 2 chunks in any direction from the one that you place something in is then safe from biter expansion. And you can see that they could have actually gotten really close to my base, so I need to protect all of this from that. This is just basic prevention of biters. Make it easier on us later instead of having to deal with them, as I was saying. But yes, you'll notice that once I place one in this chunk up here, that a 5x5 square will be unavailable for them. Bam. So that's very nice. I try and be pretty efficient with this, not because I'm like low on resources or anything, but just random things sitting around my world kind of bug me. So I don't want to intentionally put down too many random things sitting around my world. Yes, I want to prevent as many biter bases from appearing as possible. It's literally going to save me time in the future instead of having to clear them out, just them not being there. That will save me time in the fact that it'll put off how long I have until I need to go take care of them, as well as how many bases, therefore how much time it will take to clear out the bases when I do need to go and murder some faces like I did here. So we need to come up and get this last bit of chunk, which the way that this one is, I'm not sure if it was extending from the base that I killed or if there's another one up here to the northeast. Actually, while I'm up here, I will go check that. I'll go look at it a little bit, see what we've got here, see if biters have made any advances or whatnot. There's one little chunk right there. Just go ahead and throw one down for safety's sake. And the fact that my pollution is way up here is not very good. Looks like there's plenty of water. And as well as, searching for biter bases and trying to learn the land, I am also looking for ore deposits. Because RSO makes the ore deposits so spread out, I need to find something. And iron will be in very short supply, a lot quicker than you might think. So finding an ore deposit with this mod is extremely, extremely necessary early on. But here's some more expansion chunks we can take care of. Kind of help prevent the biters from scooting towards our base. Not a whole lot, but every little bit helps. And of course, once we get a car, and eventually once we get power armor and trains and all of that, this exploration won't be nearly as bad for resources. I mean, it'll still take time, but it'll be so much faster. So here's this base up here. Go ahead and lay down a pole like that. That looks to be iron right there beneath us. If we have an iron deposit that close, I am in heaven on this map at the moment. Again, let's get rid of chunks and start running down. It is, oh, 2 patches of iron. Holy bejesus. That and some coal? Yeah, no, that's awesome. Again, these are not massive, but those will last me way longer than I need them to, which is exactly what I want. I do want to be able to see the edge of my pollution cloud, so I'm going to run down here before going back up. Just get rid of those couple of chunks there. See what we can see. Oh yes, lots of chunks over here to be debiterified. Go ahead and shove one down right in here. Get rid of as many chunks at a time as possible. Go ahead and get one in here and start running back towards our base. These guys are pretty close to the pollution cloud. Go ahead and stop them from expanding, but let's see, are they just 2 little bases? I could probably take care of them right now. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, there's one of them. And let's get the second base down. And victory pole, prevent expansion. Alright, now let's run back up. Now we found iron, which is amazing, awesome, very, 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 very good. We'll have to, I mean, part of this world is going to be trains. A big part of this world will be trains. So I'm probably going to try and rush trains more or less. Not necessarily going to specifically only focus on them, but I do need them, and I'm going to need them early. Because these deposits, and this one is close enough, I could use belts and I'd be okay. I just have to run a couple thousand belts. But these are far enough, it's just not worth running belts. It's much better to run a train. And so that is what I plan on doing. Let's explore this last little bit of our map, throw down these last poles, and we can head back and work on the smelting array for a couple of minutes before the episode's over. But we made very, very good progress today. Keep finding these ores is the biggest deal. Let's get our pole back out, and there. And should just need one more for these chunks over here. And then we will be done with our exploration. More of an expedition. Went on a biter killing spree and an ore finding spree thing. Yeah. See, I know words. Words and me, they totally go together. Okay, maybe they don't go together, but I can get out a viable sentence every now and then. Maybe. Some are more viable than others, let's be honest. They're not all very viable. But that's okay. I can get a point across every now and then. And that's all I need to do. Alright, so let's just get rid of that last little chunk. And go see how we left our smelting operation. I'll go ahead and pick up belts and inserters. I did not forget what they were called, I swear, and yes, I'm lying. So grab inserters, grab the belts, awesome. Go get some coal to do the furnace. And then we will head back down to the smelting. Get a little bit of work done in that. Because like I said before, it's a lot of work early on, the smelting array, but it will save us so much time later from having to build more arrays or, you know, change our arrays to fit what we need. And it's not very welcoming to the electrical expansion, electric furnaces, but that's okay. By the time I get there, I hope to have robots and I can just do a full redesign and figure it out and tear it all up and then put it all back. That is the goal. And I'm just gonna craft a few assembly machines just while I'm sitting around doing nothing, but I don't have any copper on me, so that will not be happening. Okay, did I ever run the copper line? Almost. Alright, let's finish that. This should just take a second. Bring it down and around. And it's kind of inefficient to do it this way, but I just like my belts being together. It's more aesthetically pleasing to my eye. And on top of that, it allows me to see the throughput of each ore individually all at the same time. So I can see how good the iron's doing, how good the copper's doing, how good the coal is doing all at the same time. So one of these is copper. I'll go ahead and split it off. It's a little too far. There we go. Copper ore split up. Go down these lines. Boom, boom. Just like this. Pick up the mistake lines. Oops. It is pretty easy to get your lines just out of whack when you're doing this. Laying so many in a row. Or at a time, I suppose, not necessarily in a row. Because I got a lot of rows. Lots and lots and lots of belts going down here. And recently I've been playing a lot of modded Factorio, where things are stacked double, most things. So ores are like 200 per stack, and then belts are 100 per stack, and it makes things extremely convenient when you're having to put down a couple thousand of them at a time. Put in the balancer thingies. Not necessary, just I like them. I'm not such a fan of things on one side of a belt. If, you know, if there's nothing else on the belt, I just want it to be fully on the belt. Both sides taken up. But that's just a personal aesthetic thing. So now the copper ore is coming in. Very nice, very nice. And we will start putting in some inserters. Now, all of this, not the tedious part. The inserters, that's the tedious part. Because it takes hundreds of them to get this thing up and running. Did I attach power? I did attach power. Normally I like to attach it afterwards. After I've placed all the inserters, just to get the entire thing in synchronization with itself. It's pretty cool, I gotta say. Seeing a couple hundred inserters in perfect synchronization is freaking awesome. It always reminds me of an old thing I did where I put down a grid of inserters and boxes and powered them all, obviously, but put a whole bunch of things in one corner box and then just turned on the power all at once and watched it go. Just watched a absolute ton of objects being tossed around from box to box. It was cool to me. It was like a cascade effect. But yes, we are hooking in the iron, making it to work, and hopefully next episode we will hook in all of our smelting and get started on our little factory. I'm probably going to go main bus just because I have not played vanilla in such a long time that I would like to keep things organized. I really want to make this factory not just flat out ugly, because recently that's what I've been doing, and I've decided that's not how I want to do it this time. So yeah, I'm not sure what all I'll have on the main bus. Probably just the basics, and of course by basics I just mean things that are materials, so plastic and such. Alright, but this will have to do us for this episode. In between episodes, I might set up a bunch more inserters. I'm not sure yet. I know it's extremely tedious and not necessarily fun to watch, but yeah, thank you for watching. We managed to defeat the biter base, secure the copper, and then we found 2 iron patches and a coal patch, so we are definitely on our way. And I believe we have quite a bit of stone in our starting area, so we're not necessarily going to need that for a while. You're not really in need of much stone when you're playing vanilla, unless you're doing an infinite amount of train tracks, which I probably will be, so I'll need stone eventually, but for now what we have should be enough. And it's up over here. I just want to see how much we have, and then I will sign off. The single piece of crude oil right there. Crude oil as well is extremely hard to get your hands on in this mod pack. Oh yes, we have plenty of stone up here. Looks like we have a good 75 to 100,000 stone here. Which, you know, it's not necessarily a huge amount, but that will definitely last us if all we're making is trains and concrete, and we're not even going to be making concrete for a while. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you all in the next one, and I will see you later.